first time ever running 13 miles in my life. I needed to get this done more so mentally, so that way I know that I can do the half marathon. But you guys, I'm literally dead. I'm so dead. My laces have ice on them. It's so cold outside. I'm so proud of myself. Good to you. Welcome back to another episode of Vlogmas. I'm having just a very cozy Sunday morning. I started my day off with a 13-mile run because if you guys have been keeping up, I am currently training for my first ever half marathon. I've only told my YouTube besties and my book club besties that I'm training for it because I'm trying not to talk about my goals and getting that dopamine hit of saying them out loud before achieving them. So that's super exciting because I've never liked running ever in my life until I joined this run club. And so a bunch of us are training for a half marathon. I'm exactly 1 week out from race day. And I wanted to get one last long run in before the half marathon. And I'm just really proud of myself right now because I used to struggle just running 1 mile. Just mentally, I hated it. I don't know what it is about running. It's just I love that my mind just shuts off. And going into 2025, I just want to do more things that scare me and push me to grow physically and mentally. Running is such a mental sport. I feel like you're just by yourself. It's kind of just a you versus you deal, and that's what I love about it so much. I really just am testing myself. But you guys, I am dead. I am so tired right now. I ran for a total of 2 hours and 28 minutes on my 13-mile run this morning. So I've been trying to hydrate as much as I can to just get my electrolytes back up. I came home, showered, and then I hopped on my laptop for the 9th house recap meeting. We do a book of the month recap meeting at the end of every month. So that was so fun. And right now I'm fighting for my life to stay awake right now. I am so tired. And also I peeled off my nails again. I don't know what I've been doing wrong with my nails. I've been painting my nails at home for 2 months now, and lately I've been having problems with the gel sticking on, and so I just peeled it off, and I think I'm gonna try to get a nail appointment today. I kind of want to just get gel nails so I don't have to worry about chipping or anything. I made my little cafecito because I'm definitely gonna need it to avoid napping today, and it's officially December 1st. So I just want to enjoy this cozy December Sunday. I just can't believe it's December already. That's insane. We're just gonna have a cozy date together, and you guys, look how cute the tree is. Oh, she's stunning. I need to put tinsel in that area. So this is the current setup right now. I still need to get some ornaments. Right now I'm kind of loving the vibes. I do want to put some candles in the actual fireplace to make it more ambient. But I do love the books. I want to grab more books so I can cover the spaces. But yeah, this is my little Christmas setup, and I'm so over the moon. If you guys watched the previous Vlogmas, I thrifted this Christmas tree at Goodwill for $14, and it's a pre-lit tree. And I just got some tinsel from Walmart and hung it up, but I'm absolutely obsessed. I can't believe I thrifted this Christmas tree. She's gorge. I just got home from the nail salon, and these are the nails I will be entering December with. I was gonna go with a more festive nail selection, red maybe, but honestly that's just not really me. I love the cherry wine color that I've been doing for a while now, but I was thinking about getting a legit red for the holiday season, kind of like the red on this cup, but it's just not really me. So I decided to do black because it has been a minute since I've done black nails, and black is my favorite color. And I feel like dark nails for the winter is just such a vibe. So I had to go with these. I'm absolutely obsessed with how they turned out. They're just clean, they're simple, and it's my favorite color. So you guys, sitting down in the salon literally killed my knees. I'm actually in so much pain right now. And so I think the rest of the day, I just want to be like literally just sedentary. I do not want to move, but I want to set up my December journal to welcome the new month. So let's just have a journaling evening and really just relax. But first, I really want to make Mexican hot chocolate. I had a total fail last night making hot chocolate. I thought I had the Abuelita chocolate packets, but I didn't, so I couldn't make my favorite Mexican hot chocolate. So yeah, let's make that right now and just get all cozy for the rest of my Sunday. I just finished my December mood board. I'm absolutely loving the vibes. I just want to read a lot this month and romanticize the holiday season. And so I feel like all of these pictures just really embody that. And then I also did my December goals and manifestations, bringing in / leaving behind, and then my December TBR. And while we're here, I wanted to do my November wrap up. First of all, the aesthetic of all of these books are just really itching a part of my brain that I needed. I love the aesthetic of these books, so let's get into it. So first is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This was our November book of the month, and I ended up rating this a 3.5. I will say this challenged my reading capabilities a ton. It took about 40% for me to really lock in because I had to keep rereading because there's so many names, there's so many nicknames. It's secret society vibes, so you have to like know the names of like the different houses. And then what was kind of irritating to figure out is that there is actually a glossary in the back of the book. I think if you're gonna do a glossary in a book, it should be in the front to avoid like potentially spoiling yourself if you're going to the back of the book. I don't know. I wish I would have discovered the glossary beforehand. This book was intriguing and spooky and weird to say the least. I noticed that there's not as much dialogue in this book, and because of that, it felt like a lot of just info dumping, some dialogue, and then there was like paragraphs and paragraphs of just info. For me, I prefer world building through dialogue. This is also written in third person, and this was the first time I never connected to any of the characters in third person because I love third person point of view, but this one was just really hard for me to connect to the main characters. So my brain was a little overstimulated with all of like the info dumping. However, once I hit about like 50 to 60%, I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. I need to see it through. And the last quarter was just crazy. And it definitely left me with a ton of questions that I hope is answered in Hellbent, which is the second book of the duology. With all that being said, I do recommend the book. I had a book club bestie who said that she really enjoyed this book because it was right down her alley. I have never read anything like this book before. It's very dark academia, no romance like whatsoever. You get like 2 pages of potential romance. If you're looking for spice and romance and tension, this is not the book for you. However, if you love a trust the process type of book, I do think you will enjoy this. And honestly, this is like my favorite cover of a book so far. I just really love the aesthetic of this book. Next, we have Nightbane, which is the second book of the Lightlark series by Alex Astor. I did not expect to love this book as much as I did. I rated this a 4-star. It had betrayals, it had spice, it had romance, it had tension. Finally, we get to see the origins of this tragic love story. And I love how the author flipped from the past to the present. I thought she did it so well. However, I've seen a lot of hate on a certain character in this book, the character with a 3-letter name, and I do not stand for that. I'm not saying I'm their biggest fan, but they're just getting a lot of unnecessary hate, and I don't understand. Like, are we reading the same book? But regardless, this book had me wanting more. The last quarter, I will say, was very fast-paced compared to the rest of the book, so it did feel like a lot of just like plot lines pulled together, and essentially it was setting up the 3rd book, so I didn't mind it. And so with that being said, I really enjoyed Nightbane. And then my last book that I read in November was Skyshade. This is the 3rd book of the Lightlark series by Alex Astor, and I'm just gonna read you my review from Goodreads because I was a keyboard warrior after reading this book. I slept on it first to like really gather my thoughts and figure out what I wanted to rate this book because I just had a lot of thoughts, okay? I rated this a 2.5 star, and I said it was very evident that this was supposed to be only a trilogy and it should have stayed that way. I don't know why it's gonna be 5 books, and I stand by that. This should have just stayed at 3 books and she should have just wrapped up the storyline. The first half had me locked in. That is so true. I was like just glued to this book. The first half was so good. But then the plot became disastrous. So many loopholes, way too many side plots introduced, and the unnecessary dragged out love plot. The ending was way too fast paced with a fat info dump to set up the 4th book, and it had me losing brain cells. Brain cells, girl. FMC's character development literally went downhill. No character development and no regard for the love interest and their feelings. There were so many parts where it literally elicited multiple eye rolls and breaks because I was getting so frustrated with her. You guys saw in my first Vlogmas episode, I was eye rolling so much I just had to like put the book down because I was getting so frustrated with the FMC. This book did her dirty. Super disappointing, especially since I rated the 2nd book 4 stars. Yeah, and I still stand by the review. I was very disappointed with this book. Again, it should have stayed at 3 books. She should have just like wrapped it up because it is so evidently clear. Like, I don't know how like you can get more clear with this, but it is so clear as to who the FMC is supposed to end up with. Yet we're going back and forth. We're making progress with a certain love interest, and then all of a sudden we're taking 10 steps backwards with a different love interest. Like, girl, give me a break. Like, when I tell you, it is so evident as to who she's supposed to end up with. And so you're telling me the entire 3rd book was about still figuring out your feelings? Stop. Like, at this point, you should not be with anyone. You should just be alone. I was so frustrated. Again, first half, I was eating it up. I loved the development that was going on. And then second half, just completely took a turn. Literally became disastrous. Way too many plot lines introduced to set up the 4th book. And I looked it up. It's gonna be a 5-book franchise and they're making a movie out of it. I haven't decided if I'm gonna continue the series. I think the 4th book will come out next year. But I'm just like, what is that book supposed to be about? If the 4th book is gonna be more about the love plot, I'm not reading it. It's so frustrating and it just makes the FMC look so bad. And it's crazy because the 1st book and the 2nd book, she was like one of my favorite FMCs that I've ever like read in a fantasy book. And then the 3rd book just completely did her dirty. Like, I wanted nothing to do with her. I had to take so many breaks, and you guys saw that I was just rolling my eyes. I'm like, dude, get a grip. Like, please. I am literally begging on my knees in prayer to get a grip and to stop making yourself look so silly. Like, she just looked so silly the entire time. But anyways, not me getting all worked up, but those were the 3 books that I read in November. I originally wanted to read 4 or 5, but November was just such a weird month for me. Oh, and then I also listened to the audiobook of Fourth Wing. I'm currently trying to reread so that way I can get ready for Onyx Storm release in January. And that was my first time ever listening to an audiobook, and I really enjoyed it. So technically I read 4 books in November. But yeah, that is my November wrap up. I'm very excited for December. I'm still playing around with my December TBR, so I'll probably tell you guys in a different episode. But anyways, I am just gonna relax for the rest of the night and just join a little book sprint, so that way I can start our December books of the month. I don't know which one I want to start yet. I'm like debating. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a chill rest of my Sunday evening, and I'll probably read on the couch next to the Christmas tree. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this vlogmas episode, and I will see you in the next one. Love you, bye.